friends. Today is September 3rd. It's the birthday of Sadhu Sundar Singh. So, I would like to focus on his own quote, that's "The cross bears those who bear the cross." I want to speak on this. The verse I've taken for this day is, "Whoever does not bear his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple." Luke 14 verse 27. So very often, own cross has to be marked, as some just feel that carrying the cross and being the disciple of Christ is the job of a missionary, just to preach the gospel. But each one has this responsibility on him to carry his cross and follow Jesus. In this carrying the cross, some have a misbelief that just if they wear a cross around their chest, neck, that's carrying the cross. For them, I would just like to put up a quote that I found, that was, "Do not wear a cross on your chest if you're not willing to carry one on your back." So that's the quote that was put up once when I read it. And very often we just give up our way, and we just hold on to the burdens of the world, and we carry worldly burdens and never try to spend some time for the cross. If we don't carry the cross of God, of course we will have to carry the load or the burden of the world. If you see the life of Sadhu Sundar Singh, the moment he got Jesus into his heart, he could not just stay calm. He wanted to carry the cross. So he became a sadhu. He gave up all his pleasures in his life. He gave up the wealth of his wealthy family, and he took up his stand to follow Christ. We'll see what George Muller, it's Hudson Taylor, had to say on the cross. Carrying the cross does not mean following Jesus' footsteps, and his footsteps are rejection, broken-heartedness, persecution, and death. There are not two Christ, an easygoing one for the easygoing Christians and a suffering one for the exceptional believers. There is only one Christ. Are you willing to follow his lead? So clearly, Hudson Taylor points out that the footsteps of the cross has rejection, broken-heartedness, persecution, death. Whereas in the present days, there are some preachers who just keep on giving prosperity messages, but that's not a correct fact. It's a cross that we have to carry. So just as today is Sadhu Sundar Singh's birthday, I'd just like to point out one of the points where one of the incidents where he carries the cross and suffers a lot. He went to the foothills of Tibet, he went to Tibet in a village called Razar, and while preaching the gospel, that's when a person catches him off and pushes him to the Lama of the village. So the Lama comes up and he starts his work, like he has to pronounce his judgment on this person. They will not kill a person directly because they should not shed blood. So they kill people indirectly. So there are two options. One is to put them in the yak skin and stitch them up. Wet yak skin. So when the sun comes up, it just tightens up and squeezes the person dead. The next one was a dungeon, a long pit, a well with a sealed top. And Sadhu Sundar Singh was given the second one. So he was thrown into the well. his right hand was hurt, and in the well, they're full of dead bodies, bones, and skulls all over. Wherever he kept his hand, he could feel only flesh of dead people. So it was a horrible place with the worst smell, feeling, and nothing to see but only bones and all these. He prayed to God. The third night, he could hear the sealed covering on the top opening up. And to his surprise, there was someone who put the rope inside and told to hold and come out. So he holds the rope and starts to move upwards. Though his right hand was injured, he moves up, and when he comes up to thank the person, he never finds them. Then he thanks God, and he continues the same journey in the same place where he was accused and thrown. And still, without fear, he went forward to that same village and he started his work. That's when the person again goes and informs the Lama that the person whom we believed to be dead is preaching again. So Lama is shocked. He thinks it's an inside job. Someone had opened it, but to his surprise, the keys of the cover of the well was with him. So that's when he realizes this a superpower. So he says, "Please leave the boundary of my village and get away." So he had to leave. Of course, more of this you can just see audiobooks on YouTube about what Sadhu Sundar Singh has written. There are hundred number of parables. He compares and he tells very beautiful stories and reaches the Bible verse. Yes, I would like to conclude this with a small quote that again of Sadhu Sundar Singh. This is Sadhu Sundar Singh's picture in England. So here we see he has quoted this: "If we do not bear the cross of the Master, we will not bear the cross of the world with all its earthly goods." Which cross are we bearing? The cross of the Master or the cross of the world? Think. Thank you.